Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas holiday. Weather update. It is exactly 0 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and we have snow. If any day should call for afternoon tea in front of a roaring fire, well, today is certainly the day. And for the afternoon tea, I'm going to make some Coronation Chicken tea sandwiches that we can put on the lower level of this 3-tiered stand. And we will make some of my favorite scones to put on the middle level. And then I think we will cheat just a bit for the dessert that goes on the top plate. And for the scones, I need to weigh out 500 grams, or about 3½ cups of flour. And I'm using regular all-purpose flour here. Then I need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and 90 grams, or just barely a ½ cup of granulated sugar. Need my mixing paddle. And I want to mix these ingredients just to combine them. Then I need a ½ cup, or 113 grams of cold diced butter. Throw that right into the flour. And then I'm going to use my stand mixer to cut the butter into the flour. That will take a couple of minutes. And while that's happening, I need to measure out 190 mils, or 3/4 cup, of full-fat buttermilk. And to the buttermilk, I'm going to add 2 large eggs. And I want to whisk the eggs into the buttermilk. Now we can add the buttermilk mixture to the flour mixture. And I'm going to let this mix until all of the flour is moistened. We are good and mixed here. So now I'm going to scrape the dough onto a lightly floured work surface, which for me is a marble board. Now we can roll up our sleeves and form this dough into a ball. Gently knead this dough for about a minute until it is perfectly smooth. And then I'm going to place the dough smooth side up on my board, cover the dough with a towel, and let this rest for about 15 minutes so that the flour can absorb all of the moisture. So now we can flip this dough so that its smooth side is down. Add a little more flour here, not much. And then we need to roll this dough into a circle that is approximately 3/4 of an inch thick. Little flour on top. Better have my ruler handy. This is a gorgeous dough to work with. Very pillowy. I like to make my own scones because the ones that I can buy locally are cut into wedges, and they are always as dry as dust. I mean, they crumble and fall apart. They do not hold up well to cream and jam. These scones I cut into circles. The circle shape is considered good energy in feng shui. And And these scones are light, but they are firm enough to hold up to mountains of clotted cream or creme fraiche and strawberry jam. And now I'm going to measure this, just see if I'm a little too thick. We're good. I'm going to cut this dough into rounds. And I need to have my parchment-lined baking tray ready. And I'm dipping my cutter into a little flour so that the scone doesn't stick, or at least I hope it won't stick. And when you cut these scones, be sure to cut straight down without twisting. If you twist, the cutter will pinch the edge of the scone, and then the scone won't rise properly. Well, it won't rise to its fullest potential. Scones are beautifully shaped. And I'm going to place them on my parchment-lined baking tray, about 1.5 inches apart. Now I can gather my scraps and either pat out or re-roll the scraps and cut out more scones. Now I'm going to cover the scones with a towel and let them rest, for 10 to 15 minutes. Meantime, I need to preheat my oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. I want to glaze these scones before they go into the oven. So I have 1 egg here. I'm going to beat. And I'm going to add just a tiny splash, not more than a teaspoon of buttermilk. You could add regular milk or even just water. Since I have buttermilk, I might as well use it. Now we can brush the egg wash onto the scones. I should mention that you can make, form, and freeze the scones before you put egg wash on them. Frozen, they will last for, months. And then when you want to bake them, take them out, brush them with egg, and top them, if you want, with demerara sugar, which is what I'm going to do. Demerara is a coarse sugar. It will give the scones a lovely crunch. And into the oven the scones go until they puff and color. That will take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven. Oh, they look beautiful. And here are the scones. They are gorgeous. They smell wonderful too. I'm going to transfer them to a wire rack. This one looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but the rest of them are just perfect. And of course, all will be delicious. Going to let these cool, and then we can get cracking on the Coronation chicken. And for the Coronation chicken, I have some cooked chicken breast that I simply need to shred with my mixing fork. Coronation chicken was a dish that was created in honor of Queen Elizabeth's coronation in, I think it was 1953, or maybe it was 1952. It's a delicious dish, and this variation on Coronation chicken is just great for tea sandwiches. I don't know why I took everything off of my tray here. And to the chicken, I'm adding 1 generous tablespoon of mango chutney, which I think my Latin friends call mango chutney. Then I need 1 generous tablespoon of mayonnaise and 1 tablespoon or thereabouts of sour cream. And then mixy. I also need a tiny amount of curry powder, just a pinch or about a 1/4 teaspoon. And the curry powder will give the chicken mixture a gorgeous golden color. I want to have a little taste here. This is the perfect combination of savory and sweet and just a tiny amount of heat from the curry powder. This is uniquely wonderful. Let me clean this up, and then I can fetch my bread. Now, I very often use my own homemade pain de mie for tea sandwiches, but today I'm just using ordinary white Pepperidge Farm sandwich bread. I like the Pepperidge Farm bread because it does not have a severe crown on top, so there's less waste when you remove the crust. And I'm just buttering the bread first to create a seal so that I do not have soggy tea sandwiches. You only need a thin layer of butter, but you can do a thick layer if you like, because everything is better with butter. And of course, you want to use softened butter so that you don't rip the bread as you're spreading it with butter. Now we can add the filling. For some extra color, I'm going to add some baby spinach leaves. And I did remove the stems from these leaves. I have my dog Avery at my feet. She cannot resist the smell of chicken. Going to do 4 sandwiches that we will cut into either fingers or triangles. And then I will still have some of this gorgeous filling left over. So if I want to invite friends for afternoon tea later this week, I'll have everything ready to go. Now, I always fill my sandwiches before I remove the crust, simply so that I will have a clean edge on each sandwich. Also, it's very difficult to fill a sandwich after the crusts have been removed. And I love this serrated bread knife. I've had many bread knives over the years. This is the one that cuts very cleanly. In fact, it's the only one that cuts cleanly. Now, I do save all of the scraps, and I either snack on them or I freeze them and then use them for a savory bread pudding. Keep my knife clean here. Now, here's my crust removed sandwich. I think I will do this one in triangles. And I'm going to put each of these on a baking tray that is lined with a damp towel. This way the bread won't dry up, because we're not ready to enjoy our afternoon tea just yet. I have a couple of household projects I need to attend to first. So you can cook these scraps, even with their filling, in a custard of eggs and milk, and have yourself a marvelous little supper dish. Just cleaning up a little here. And then I'm going to place another damp towel, and by damp I mean just barely damp. I saturated these towels with water and then I wrung them out thoroughly. And now these sandwiches can go into the refrigerator for several hours and they will not dry out. Earlier I mentioned that we will enjoy our afternoon tea in front of a roaring fire. Well, first I need to clean out the ashes from the parlor fireplace. And this gives me a golden opportunity to show you the birthday present that Lizette gave to me. It's a fireplace vacuum cleaner. This ash vacuum has a special heat-resistant filter. I think the vacuum works respectively well. We need to create some kindling for the fire. They say that wood warms you twice. First when you cut it, and next when you burn it. I think this autumnal Darjeeling tea will go very well with our afternoon tea today. Now, when I measure tea, it's always 1 teaspoon per cup plus 1 for the pot. Let me fetch the sandwiches. So my sandwiches are snug in their 2 damp blankets. And for the scones, I have some creme fraiche here, which is leftover from our recent Christmas dinner video. I also have some homemade strawberry jam. This is the jam that you and I made together last June. Then we need our beautiful scones. A spoon for the creme fraiche, and a spoon for the strawberry jam. When you do afternoon tea, please don't feel that you have to make everything from scratch. Let me show you what I'm going to put on the top tier of this stand. I have Whitman's Sampler. These are little chocolates, and they are very delicious chocolates at that. I also have some colorful macarons. These are from a local bakery. Now, I made macarons in a video several years ago, and I invite you to watch that video. Macarons are a bit of work, but they are so incredibly delicious, whether homemade or store-bought. Let me take off my apron, put on a jacket, and then we can head into the parlor. This Darjeeling autumnal tea, or autumnal Darjeeling tea, is really excellent, with or without milk. Now let me dive into one of these Coronation Chicken Sandwiches. Even though these sandwiches were in the refrigerator for several hours, because I had them between damp kitchen towels, the bread has stayed very fresh. And as I said earlier, the Coronation chicken filling is the perfect combination of savory and sweet, plus there's just that tiny bit of heat from the curry powder. And the scones, some creme fraiche, which goes on the plate, not directly on the scone, some jam, Also on the plate, not directly on the scone. Tear off a piece, cream, and jam, and eat it all up. I call these my best scones because they really are, and they are so easy to make. We already know that these desserts are wonderful, so let me take a moment to thank you for all of the holiday greetings that you sent, either on this YouTube channel or in cards or letters that you sent to my post office box. I want you to know that I read every comment, every card, and every letter, and I am truly touched. Thank you so much. Well, I hope you will give these Coronation Chicken tea sandwiches a try, and also try these very easy scones. And I will post the filling ingredients for the Coronation Chicken in the description box below, and I will link the printable recipe for the scones in the description box. If you enjoyed today's video, I hope you will click the like button and subscribe and comment, and also please click the notification bell so that you can receive notifications every time I upload a new episode. And the next episode will air on Sunday. And until then, please take excellent care of yourself. Please treat yourself to afternoon tea, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now, friends.